Hello, my name is Sharon Carson, and welcome to Uplifting News. Uplifting News is a place where you can hear stories that impact our community and our world from a positive perspective. So it gives you also insight and allows you to give your impact and input on what happens in our world and how we can change things and make it better. Today we're going to discuss something that's really important in our society. Right now we're dealing with situations such as recession, and we've been hearing about it over and over for the past few years. During recession, you hear a lot of things, and one thing that's really impacted, of course, is the economy. But many things, and a lot of things that we don't talk about, are people who are impacted and how they're impacted. One thing that has truly been impacted in our world are the homeless. And how do we define homelessness? I think we should do that right now. In simple terms, homelessness is pretty simple. It's defined as someone or a situation where someone finds themselves without a home or a permanent dwelling. Homelessness could really be someone who actually is sleeping on a friend's couch, staying with a relative temporarily or a friend, having the opportunity to really even also stay outside. Now that's the case that we usually hear about. The homelessness doesn't have to actually be outside in the street. Homelessness could be a temporary situation. So today we're going to actually break down 3 different scenarios of homelessness. So I want to give you a couple of statistics first. Let's look at homelessness from a global perspective. It has been told to us by some of the nonprofit organizations that over 150 million people are homeless all around the world. That's a big number, and we know it's really insightful. And even in the US, when we're thinking locally, HUD reports that 653,000 people are homeless in the United States. When I think about homelessness or the word homeless, I usually like to call it people in transition, something that's a little bit more respectful and really doesn't sound like someone sitting outside. One thing that we have to think about is how we can impact our community from a positive perspective. And that's what we're here to do, is to create solutions, but really think about thought-provoking ideas and things that we can help others to maybe prevent it. Let's think about the 3 scenarios of homelessness. One situation we can think about, and I'm going to look at my notes here, homelessness is considered a change of status, number 1. So that could be anyone who's dealt with a loss of employment that could deeply impact someone's life. We also think about scenarios of divorce. Can be a situation where someone is relying on an income or dual income to pay bills, and now they're on their own. The final one is loss or tragedy. And a lot of times when we think about those situations, it could be someone who's lost a loved one, someone that you love that all of a sudden is no longer here. You may have been dependent on the dual income, and it's no longer 2, but 1. How do we handle that? The second scenario can also be considered something that's really common and people are really thinking about and know about, and that would be addiction. It doesn't have to be drugs. It could be alcoholism. It could also be bulimia. We don't know what the situation is. Something usually when there is considered shame and they don't want to do this in front of someone, it may cause discord in a family. And that particular person may consider, you know what, I need to be outside or be away from this environment that they consider is something that they can't escape from. So the way of escape is to be outside. When we think about the third perspective of homelessness, we think about also mental health. There are a lot of people out in the street that we see often that deal with mental health issues or challenges, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, manic depression, PTSD. There are many situations, scenarios why people are dealing with mental health issues, but because a lot of times maybe people are on medication and then feel like, you know what, I can't take this anymore because it's making me feel uncomfortable, reactions to the medication, that they end up outside and on the street. But finally, there's one bonus, not in a positive way, but something that is thought-provoking, and that is human trafficking. A lot of times when we think about human trafficking, we can think about whether someone has been transferred here from another country, but also from state to state. It also impacts runaways. One scenario that we're going to focus on today is loss. Tragedy. It could be loss of employment, loss of a loved one, or you could be dealing with a divorce. A few days ago, I had the opportunity when I was walking down the street, a gentleman came up to me and asked if I could purchase a cup of coffee for him. And so we went inside of this restaurant and we sat down and got some coffee, then he got some food. And I just asked him, like what happened and how, the situation occurred. So he explained to me what was going on in his life. I'm going to give him a name, and it's his real name, and it's Mr. Randy. I think the best way to explain or tell the story is for Mr. Randy to tell it himself. So I just want you to take a moment and to listen to what Mr. Randy says. This was impromptu. It was not planned. It was not a planned interview, so he's not mic'd up. And also you're going to hear probably a lot of background noise, so just consider it natural sound. But most importantly, I want you to hear his story. In this segment, I want you to think about how can we impact his life in a positive way. Take a listen. Carson.
You are the blessing. God led you my way. I don't know if you've been there. You know, a lot of people talking about they one hit from being homeless. One paycheck from being homeless.
Yeah.
It's a rough job, being homeless. If it all right, they had the right resources, you can go through step by step. Can't go by step by step. If I can go here and get this done, then I gotta go here till I get this done. No, it won't work. It's gonna be a stumbling block somewhere in that area. You ain't gonna be able to do it. They ain't gonna let you. I go down the grade sometimes, just get out the cold. That's rough. Can't stay around here, ain't no way you can go. If it rains, they have it out in the rain. It will rain. I went inside trying to sit down. Man, can we come out? I said, hey man, it rain. You gotta go. I said, okay, I'll pray.
So where do you go?
That's when you seeing me, walking. Sometimes you don't even know when your next meal coming. You don't know what that day gonna bring. That's what I just have faith and walk and ask somebody to help me if they can. People don't understand your situation. If they feel like they ain't homeless, they better than you, they don't care about their situation. There's a lady was down at the gateway in a wheelchair. Couldn't nobody help her. Well, nobody helped her. She was doing it herself. And I asked her, man, you all right? You need help? She said, yeah. I said, what you need? She said, I need to be pushed right down here. I said, yeah, man, I got you. And I did. I pushed her.
So
She
anything
told,
we can do
yeah.
is helpful to anybody.
Well, because I'm getting help. I'm going to help somebody else. It ain't doing it by itself. How can I get all the glory and don't nobody else getting on? Right? I can't do it. It ain't gonna work. If I'm gonna get somebody else some glory, I ain't gonna have no glory. My mama always told me, whatever you do to somebody, it always come back home. Believe that. You put good out there, you're gonna get good back. That's true fact. When the sun shines, it's gonna shine. There ain't gonna be no cloud. It's gonna be sun. And I believe that. See, I was raised up by my grandma. My grandmama raised me. My mama was alcoholic and had seizures. Yeah, my mama had seizures. So my grandmama had to raise me. And I learned a lot of stuff. You know, all I can do is have faith and believe. And keep living and keep doing. And I thank God for my age. I never thought I'd make it. But I did. Thank God.
Yes.
Yeah, I ain't giving up. I ain't gonna quit. It's a red light. The light was a green light.
So you're going to be a blessing to somebody else. You know, it's
I
coming.
got to be.
Coming.
Because somebody been blessing me.
Thank you. God bless you, Mr. Randy.
God bless you.
Yep. All right, sir.
All right.
We'll be hearing from you soon.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. God bless you.
God bless you.
Well, I hope you got a better understanding or more insight into Mr. Randy's story. He was really candid and honest and forthright, and I really appreciate and honored him for that. He told his story about what happened to his life. He did explain that he has been out on the street since 2022. He's trying to get back on his feet, and he really needs some help. So maybe this is an opportunity for us to offer solutions for not just Mr. Randy, but maybe someone that we see on the street. If you have any ideas, if you have anything that you would like to add, any comments in a positive perspective on how we can create solutions in regards to homelessness, and most importantly, can the homeless crisis be solved? What do you think? I'm Sharon Carson, and thank you for listening to Uplifting News.